Hey guys, how are you? It's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. This is me today. This is me all day. This has been me for like 3 days. And if you guys noticed, I have a different like angle, and it really doesn't have anything to do with showing you my play sign. It has very little to do with that, and it was better just to try a different angle for my face. And that was just a recommendation by my doctor until I get my surgery in November, to just help me feel less self-conscious. So it honestly has nothing to do with this, and it has everything to do with this and just feeling really uncomfortable being on camera right now. And so he just said, you can just change the angle until you go to the hospital and we fix it. So that's why we're sitting at this angle. And I'm actually kind of liking the angle because I feel like it's, before it was like a closet door. Now we have sort of this cozy cove over here. I don't know. We'll get there. But welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you. My skin is gorgeous. Well, this is like oh, it's been such a messy few days. So, oh, thanks. So this top is like a slouchy, I don't even know. It's supposed to be like a cowl neck, but like when I was wearing it like this, it just didn't feel right. So I just put it off to my shoulder and it felt more comfortable. And I got this at Goodnight Macaroon, and it actually works better like this than it does the other way. So yeah, Goodnight Macaroon is where I get a lot of my clothes. It's like an online boutique. You get them actually, they ship the clothes from Hong Kong. Okay, so anyways, I've been having like allergy like symptoms for like the past few days. And then one of our nurses kept calling in for the like last 2 days, and I've been like freaking out because obviously in this world, we're paranoid because healthcare workers are going in and out of houses and everything. We have been safe up until this point, but now our nurse might have it, maybe the germs. So I'm like now paranoid that like my allergies are it, but I don't think it is. And so we're waiting to find out on testing, and this is such a mess right now. Rule of thirds. Yes, and I made a mistake in my last video about the Real Housewives. I don't watch the Real Housewives, so I apologize. It was more just like a talking point because Danielle Busby is not joining. So I was really just making a talking point. It wasn't really about like her actually joining, and it wasn't to diminish those of you that are fans. It was really just to say like there's no place near her. She doesn't live anywhere near the Potomac. She's in Houston. She's nowhere near Dallas. There's no place. That was kind of like where I was going. And the last time I paid attention, neither one of those shows were on air. Totally out of air on my end. I realized that I actually Potomac is on the air right now, so I do apologize. So I don't know what is going on right now. So yeah, we're talking about the germs that are spreading in the United States right now, but we're not using the word because the word is kind of a mess. So anyways, there is some concern about the germs and my house getting the germs, and I don't want the germs because my son has a lot of medical issues. So we are just trying everything in our power to not get the germs. And again, I apologize for offending all of my Housewife fans because clearly my talking point was to say that there wasn't one for her to join, and that just went over everyone's head, right? Or over my head, or maybe in the fog of my allergies or whatever I'm dealing with right now, my brain was not computing. But I swore the last time I checked, Potomac had been on this very long hiatus, so I wasn't exactly clear about what was going on. And then also, I was dealing with Dallas. There was talk last season that it might get canceled. So that was why that came up. Obviously, I don't watch the shows, so I don't keep current on all of that. And I'm not trying to talk about the Housewives because that's just not my thing, and it never has been. You know that we don't really talk about them on this channel because I don't really watch it. But if you guys enjoy that, that's great. Certainly not trying to offend any of my Housewife fans. Yeah, people get really upset about a lot of different things. Anyways, so yeah, we are being, and then I did a video on Mary Brown was missing, and it was like a play on words. Like, I don't really think Mary Brown is missing. So people were like taking that very literal. And I feel like sometimes with titles, people think like, oh, she's really missing. And it's like, no, not really. She's off Instagram, which if you watch the video is exactly what I said. But again, I digress. Okay. So yeah, we are trying to like not get the germs, and we just found out from my son's agency that the nurse may or may not have been exposed to a family member that may or may not have had symptoms, and so they just got their testing done, and they just don't know yet, and we're supposed to find out. And then meanwhile, it's like allergy season, so I have like sniffly nose, runny sore throat. During my normal allergy season, I get a tight chest. So obviously then I'm like freaking out, like, is it allergies or do I have the germs? And then it's hard because then my anxiety goes through the roof because it's like the last thing I want is to get sick, and then I don't want to expose my son. And it's just been a mess. But I can't for the life of me figure out how this would be it. But anyways, well, I wasn't baiting people. It's just the title. Baiting people would mean that I'm like lying. I'm literally saying she's missing on Instagram, which is what I said in the video. And I wasn't clickbaiting, because clickbaiting would literally mean that I'm not even talking about what I'm talking about. And I'm like, yeah, anyways. And Adam did respond to her joining, and he said it wasn't going to happen. So anyways, I hope it's just allergies, but it's just the anxiety of it, because if our nurses have it, it's just that added layer of like, we do everything in our in our abilities to like stay safe. And anyways, so I've just been like having like massive like heart like palpitations, and I'm supposed to film with a production group this week, and so I'm like freaking out about that, because if I have been exposed to anything, then they can't come here. And yeah, thank you, Kristen, for the super chat. Thank you. Okay, well, I appreciate all the good vibes. I'm hoping it's nothing. Maybe she just has allergies. Maybe she just has a cold. I don't know. This is the normal time of year where ragweed here is high, and I'm sure my haters now are going to go check the pollen counts because I'm lying, because that's what they always do. It's like, oh, I say I have allergies, and they're like, the pollen counts are low, but then they don't know exactly where I'm located, and the pollen counts aren't listed specifically on those websites for there, but I can check my local pollen counts, and I know that they're high just by being outside. So, yeah. Anyways, no reason to lie about allergies. In fact, I would rather not have to deal with them ever. But anyways, tightness of breath has been like so bad lately. Anyways, so I am going to talk about Kellyanne Conway's daughter. People really are that crazy, Alicia. They literally think I lie about my allergies. They think I lie about everything, but yeah. You have combines going around? Okay, yeah. So Mrs. Smith, you can feel my pain. Where we live is a rural area. It's not a rural town. We're not in the middle of nowhere by any means, but we have farms all around us. So in this time of year, what they typically are doing is they're getting rid of all of like, there's tons of corn and soybeans that are grown around us. And so they are getting the fields completely magged down. Like all of the combines are going through, they're taking out all of the stalks from the corn, and it's like mowed down, and then everything that's left gets put up into like hay or into barrels, and then they put down like they spray stuff like fertilizer, which is basically it smells really bad. But while all of that's happening, everything gets kicked out into the air. So they're getting the fields ready for next year, cleaning them up from this season. And okay, so Lane understands. New Prague smelled like manure today. Yeah, that's how it smells here too. So when they do that, then they spray everything down, which is basically they spray manure, which is fertilizer, and then your whole town stinks. It's harvest season, and it's all kinds of in the air. Correct. Yeah, it's so gross. People got so offended, Natalie. They were like, "You're talking about a show you don't watch." And I'm like, "I don't even watch The Housewives. When did I ever pretend like I did?" Anyways, okay. So let's talk about Kellyanne Conway, because this story is ridiculous. First off, this is not meant at all to be political, because by the way, like, I'm not here to tell you what to vote for or who to vote for or who to appreciate. Now, that being said, I do feel like I can have an opinion on Kellyanne Conway, and I've never liked her. And it has very little to do with the president, and it has everything to do with her. She kind of like, I remember we watch a lot of like news at night. I like to watch like Don Lemon and Anderson Cooper. And, early on, they would have Kellyanne to talk about different things going on in the administration. And she would be blatantly lying, deflecting and gaslighting. And it just was to a level that I had never seen before. And she was like, I'd always tell my husband, like, she's the kind of person that when you're talking to her, she will literally make you feel like what you're thinking is wrong. She is like the epitome of a gaslighter. She can somehow spin anything to a way to make you think that everything that you believed up until that point was wrong, and everything that she says, like, she lives in a completely different reality. So I like honestly just cannot stand her. There are plenty of people that have worked within that administration that I don't hate. She just bothered me. Anyways, yeah, she just specifically bothered me. I don't care about anything else. It's just her spin. Oh my gosh, it would just make me feel crazy. I hate when I'm like knowing in my heart or in my brain, like logically, like what you're saying is actually a lie. And then she could just spin it to be whatever it was. And I'd be like, whoa, could you imagine being in a conversation with her? She's a former lawyer. Okay, so that maybe is good because she knows how to litigate and she can kind of spin anything. I don't know. But like listening to her just makes me feel like again, nothing to the politicalness of it. I don't even care what she has to say. It's just the way that she spins and goes really fast. And it's just, there's so many times where I was like, I know she's lying right there. I know she's lying. And listen, politicians lie, like even the Democrats. So I'm not here to debate that. So, they all lie. All politicians lie at some point. Okay, we're not talking about, we're actually not going to be talking about anything political here. We're only talking about Kellyanne Conway's daughter. Okay, so obviously, I don't necessarily care where you fall politically, but Kellyanne Conway is a very, obviously, she's worked for the president for a number of years, and she was just stepped down in August, And she primarily said she was stepping down to be closer to her family, but a lot of it came down to her daughter, Claudia. Now, the interesting thing about Claudia, and this is why I say that Kelly is gaslighting, is because Claudia has parents that are conservative. So Kellyanne is, she's like she's very conservative. And then her dad, George, is also a Republican, but he doesn't like Trump. So there are Republicans that don't like Trump, okay? So George falls into the category of Republicans that don't like Trump. And he and Kelly have been fighting all of this time because they just cannot agree about him. And apparently it's caused issues in their marriage. And Claudia starts on a TikTok. She's had this for years and years and years. And she starts this TikTok. And she starts doing more stuff more regularly this summer. And yeah, George absolutely hates Trump. You can go on to his Twitter and you'll just see how much he hates President Trump. And the channel isn't necessarily, I am liberal, but the point of this isn't to have a debate about politics. It's more just like to talk about the story. I hope you get what I'm saying here. So she is conservative, very conservative. George is conservative. I don't want to have arguments about politics. I just want to tell the story. So, and again, if you are a Trump supporter or if you are a Republican, you are welcome here. I don't care if honestly, as long as you can engage and be kind, respectful, and all of that, I want to be clear about that. We don't have to get along. We don't have to agree on things. We just have to be respectful. That's always how I ask. So yes, we all have different views on everything. It would be boring if we did, right? If we did all think the same. So anyways, she has this TikTok, let me show you here. And she has 1.3 million followers on here. And it's just, she's 15 years old, okay? And she just makes these videos where she literally hates the president, okay? And she is not conservative. So she is 15 years old. She is basically anti whatever her parents are. So if you think of her parents being very conservative, she is the antithesis of that. So she is saying, I am not like my parents. I am, anti, I believe in BLM. I'm supportive of the LGBTQ+. I'm not okay with these policies, these policies, these policies. Now, in part, some of this could be normal teenage rebellion, right? It's not uncommon if you have a parent that's one way to sort of go the polar opposite. I kind of think about do you remember the show Family Ties? And they had Alex P. Keaton, Michael J. Fox. His parents were liberal hippies from the 1960s, and they gave birth to this little kid who was obsessed with Richard Nixon and loved Ronald Reagan. It's sort of just like that. I'm going to be the polar opposite of whatever my parents are. And so some people are just sort of chalking it up to that, but other people just really like her message because they hate Kellyanne Conway. Now, the confusion here lies that because people think that somehow she's the mouthpiece for her mother, which I don't necessarily believe that to be true. But in August, she actually came out and basically said that her mom and dad were terrible human beings. She called her mother a sociopath. And she claimed that her mom and her dad had been both physically, mentally, verbally, all kinds of, ABUSIBE. She says she wants to get emancipated. She hates her parents. She wants no part of it. She says that both of her parents have been awful to her. She said that they were about to get divorced. So apparently, leading up to everything, she starts spilling all this stuff out on her TikTok, right? And I would play these, but I don't know which ones have music behind them. And I never know which ones have music, and I don't want to get in trouble for the music stuff. But because I can't have the music on here. But anyways, like, she's been also letting people know that on top of all of that, she has, okay, so she basically outs her parents and says that they're doing all these terrible things. She also said that they're about to get divorced. And then after all of this comes out, Kelly suddenly steps down from the from the White House and says that she has to be at home and take care of her kids. She then goes onto her TikTok and says, you know, my parents are liars. They're doing this for attention. My mom was never around. She is still never around. My sisters have no idea who Trump is. I hate him. I hate, you know, and hating him could also be just like hating that mom is away. You know what I mean? It's so hard to know. Although she says that Kellyanne is a sociopath, which I honestly kind of feel like she might be. The parents are both conservative. They're 100% conservative. George is still conservative. He's just a different form of conservative than Kelly. They're both Republicans. He's more of like an independent Republican. So anyways, she is like basically calling out her parents for all of this crap, saying my dad and mom are doing this. My dad and mom are doing that. Like, my mom does this, my mom does that. Part of me is just like, well, she's just mad at her mom. You know, you're mad, you're a teenage girl, you're mad about this. But then she's also, you know, telling people that her mom gave her the germs, her mom lied to her, that her mom told her that she had a negative test and then she hung around with her. And then after the fact, her mom tested positive, and so her mom made her upset. She was the one that actually told the world that her mom had the virus. Like, she's just... People love her because they hate Kellyanne Conway. So, when everything comes out, you hear that George wanted a job and they hired his wife. So... George was part of the Lincoln Group, which is this anti-group it's a Republican Party group that's against Trump, okay? And George is a never Trumper. He does not want anything to do with Trump. And so he steps back from the Lincoln Project. Kelly leaves the White House, and it all coincides with this girl making all of these claims about her parents. Let me see if I can find one where she's talking.
Back to the regular programming. If you will be eligible to vote by November 3rd and you haven't registered to vote already, please register. It's super important to exercise your right that you have as an American in this country. Please vote.
3.
That's suspicious. Everybody's saying that I didn't write it. I literally just wrote this. Like, I literally just wrote this. I don't... Stop spreading falsehoods. Stop exploiting me. The media, if you're watching this, I want every article taken down now.
Okay, so she's upset because this whole thing started where she basically says that Trump is way sicker than he is, that he is not well after he got out of the hospital yesterday, that, you know, people were acting like what she said was the truth, whether or not they knew it or not, right? And so now she wants everyone to back off because she wrote a letter, which basically is like, it's so tiny. Let's see if I can... It says, it's come to my attention that my recent TikTok comments and have sparked intense controversy and uproar. This is not my intent. I'm appalled at the mainstream media efforts to exploit a teenage girl, which is negatively affecting my mental health. I am not the whistleblower of our time. I am simply a 15-year-old girl with a following and bad luck when it comes to media coverage. Leave my family alone. When I saw the president when I said he was not doing better, I was, as many teenagers are, speculating and assuming. I have absolutely no special insight into the president's health status. I did not get my information from my mother. I wish the president and the first lady great health and speedy recovery. On Friday night, my mom tested positive for COVID. She had 3 tests done. The first test was negative. The second 2 were positive. A miscommunication between us led us to think that she told her test was negative instead of positive, blah, blah, blah. On Saturday, I was experiencing symptoms. I posted on TikTok. And then she basically says, I apologize if my video, upset people, that, or if I was being misleading. I am quarantining and with my mom, and she's great and I love her. So obviously people are in comments and they think that she is being like forced to write this by her mom, because there was this other video that went viral of her basically fighting with her mom because her mom was like yelling at her, telling her that she lied to everyone about her. Everyone's saying that her mom wrote that, and she keeps saying like, hold on.
Everybody's saying that I didn't write it. I literally just wrote this. Like, I literally just wrote this. I don't... Stop spreading falsehoods. Stop exploiting me.
So she has a lot of her parents' talking points. She knows her parents' lingo for sure, but it almost felt like her mom wrote that. It seemed too eloquent, and it also seemed way too and it was a copy. So when people noted that it was like on this,
the link is literally in my bio. You can go read it.
I don't even know why I have to explain myself right now. Obviously, I wrote this. No one forced me to do anything. No one wrote this for me. The link is...
So it's like a copy. So people were like, well, it's a copy. Why would you have a copy of it? And she said that she had a copy to edit it. I honestly think that Kelly still wrote this. I don't know if that's true or not, but she got into this really big fight with her mom last night on TikTok, and she's already deleted it, but let me show you if I can get it up here, because she makes this statement after her mom basically forced her to go online. So let me just, where is that window? Why can't I get this too? Media types. Why can't I get this to open? There is a video I want to show you and I can't. No. I can't get this to show. How do I open this? I'll email it to myself. Maybe I can do it. All right, there we go. I emailed it to myself. There we go. I figured it out. Now you guys are going to come back up here and they're going to be like, Katie, I can't see it. Katie, why are you doing that? Okay. All right, here it is. So her mom made her go online last night and correct what she said.
You say correct.
I'm doing it right now.
My mom had 3 tests.
I'm doing it right now.
Do it now.
Tested immediately.
Mom, I guess I misinterpreted
You
it.
guess you misinterpreted it. You guess you misinterpreted it?
Yeah, you said it was negative. So I spent the day with you.
Suddenly, I got that.
What?
You caused so much disruption.
Disruption?
You lied about your fucking mother about.
So she says that she caused so much disruption and she lied about her effing mother. So I'm sitting here going, oh wow. So this is why I'm sitting here going, okay, this is why I think Kellyanne doesn't want this out. She doesn't want this out at all. And it's kind of, she's so mad and she's so angry, like, about her misinterpreting that information.
COVID?
No, Mom.
About COVID?
That's how I interpreted
it? You're taping me again?
What?
Okay, so obviously they get into this big fight. She's mad that she's online. She's caught Kelly in the act. Kelly drops the F-bomb. She's angry that her daughter, she's saying, lied about her. Anyways, F-bombing, yes. So yeah. Then she comes up with that statement about how she was not going to, that wasn't what she meant. So my takeaway from all of this is that Kellyanne Conway drops the F-bomb. She yells at her daughter. But it was that you've caused such a disruption that really hung to me as why I think that this might have been why she put the statement out, to sort of like calm the waters with her mother. And I don't know, some people will say that she's just being a spoiled brat. Other people will say she's the hero. I really don't think she's like the internet hero here. I honestly just think like she's someone who comes from a White House family. We typically do not hear these kids speak publicly. They're generally kids that are seen and not heard. Think about the Obama girls. Do you ever see them talking or doing anything? I mean, didn't one of them smoke a cigarette or something, or vape or smoke pot? I don't even remember. But you just don't really like hear about them. The kids in these families are seen and not heard. You don't get their intake. You don't get their insight. And so it's very jarring when you see someone who is so pro, Trump, that she would have a daughter that's so anti. So, okay, we can't have people talking about what their kids... Oh, she smoked pot. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, so was it Malik? Which girl was it? It was the older one. I can't remember their names anyway. She smoked pot. Okay. Wait, why are we... Anyways, yeah, so teens can be difficult. Anyways, I don't know whether or not this... She is 15, and so Kelly is like angry at the media for being interested. But I think it's, it's hard because the Obama girls had normal parents and not Kellyanne. This is true. RT says this child is incredibly entitled and foul. Some of the comments are being deleted just because of the words that they're using. We just can't have them in chat. One of the comments was about what a parent would actually do, like harming a kid. We can't have that kind of discussion in chat. Don't worry about your comments. We're doing the best we can. Anyways, I was sort of shocked by this, but I actually do kind of believe that Kelly's maybe a sociopath, and I actually do kind of believe that maybe she's not the best mom. But I also know that teenagers can also lie, but then her mom is a massive gaslighter. Yes. So, it's just Malia. She was the one that did it. Okay. This is definitely not a normal, correct, Haley. Okay. So my takeaway from all of this is she was probably being a rebellious teenager. She was probably had no information about the president being sick. And then she's also probably just being, she might have these issues with her parents. That could all be very true. And I think, Kellyanne Conway is a mess. So none of this surprises me. But I would say, in general, don't look at a 15-year-old as the be-all, end-all, the answer, the person that's telling all of the truth about what's going on in the White House. This girl doesn't have, her pipeline, her phone number to Trump. And I actually think part of the reason she probably hates the president is not, it could partially be his politics, but it's probably also the fact that, her mom's job was taken away by this, and then it's destroyed her parents' marriage because of their fights about it. I think he just is a source of friction in that household, and it's likely a response to that, not to minimize what she's saying or what she says she's gone through, but just, there is that aspect of kids being angry at someone and they have to pick that person to be mad at. And it's not hard. Lots of people don't like Trump. I get it. So, but is she the internet hero, or is she just a disgruntled teen? When I posted on Twitter about it, people were kind of divided. Some of them were like, yes, she's the answer. And the other people were like, no. She's just a spoiled brat. She does want to emancipate herself. Yes. Says Haley. Yes. She's very intelligent for sure, but misguided and is not paying the price for not being safe. Yes. Amber says this is the first time commenting. Well, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. The husband holds no respect for the wife. Her dad is a lawyer. She's just a privileged, angry child. Classic abandonment issues. These are all of your comments that I'm reading, not my own. She's just a teenager being a teenager, says Nancy. It's disrespectful to not know how to spell people's names. Okay, but I'm not spelling anyone's names here, so I don't know why people are upset about that. She has lived in political turmoil for the last 4 years. Okay. They have their hands full. So it's a mixed bag. Mixed bag. When she wrote that article and got really... I was not a saint as a teen either. I was a mess. And I rebelled against my parents too. So that's part of my... that was part of my question there. Well, so that's what I have for tonight. I'm going to go lay down. I need to rest. I'm going to hope that I have nothing going on with me. And if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Kristen, thank you for your super chat. And Amy, thank you for both of your super chats. And Shouty, thank you so much for your super chat. You guys, moderators, you can chill out on timing people out and deleting comments. We're good. We're almost done. So I am going to go, and I hope you guys have a great night. Bye.